Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sachi from Sachi Records, and today I'm just going to bring a quick tutorial on how to effectively create a good sounding kick. Now, I think this kick sounds good when you use it in techno or tech house music in particular, but I'm pretty sure you can use it in other styles of electronic music as well. The first thing that I have loaded up here is a MIDI track, and it has a drum kit that comes by default with Ableton Live, and then it's under drums over here. The drum kit I have loaded up is Electrified Kit 6. You can scroll down here and find it for yourself. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to do here is have a listen to the kick. And first of all, by doing that, we're going to have to create a MIDI clip within that track. So what we're going to do is right click here and on the track, and we're going to insert a MIDI clip. Now there's a few ways of doing it. I personally use the push for that, but you can do it by right clicking, or you can have the command here, which a lot of people like using the commands. It just makes things a lot quicker. So you can press here, as it says, Shift Command M. I would assume this is for Mac, but I would assume for Windows that would be Shift Alt M or Shift Control M. All right, but I'm sure you can figure that out for you PC users. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do now is to get my MIDI roll here, I did double click on it, okay, and I'm just gonna add my kick there like that. I'm gonna make my length to 2 bars. There we go. So let's have a listen to the kick right now and see where we're at. Sorry, I was redlining there a little bit. Just pull that down a tiny bit. Alright. Yeah, as you can hear right now, this kick drum, it sounds really boxy. It sounds somebody's hitting on a box, and have just put a low sine wave underneath it. So what I want to do here is I'm probably gonna have to cut in the 200 range, okay, with an EQ. So let's okay, I'm not gonna use my controllers here. I don't want to confuse you guys. So click here, so we can go to our effects, our drop audio effects unit here, and we have our drum rack. So you can select each sound within this drum rack, and you can see the sample next to it here. Now if you can't see the samples when you click on each drum hit, remember to have this button here clicked on, so you'll be able to see the actual wave files, and you can do some editing, some more in-depth editing for each drum hit. With that being said, if I'm going to use a plugin, let's say for an example, I'm going to use a utility, a mono plugin, and I want it on one particular sound. What I have to do in order to affect, you got to select what you want to affect. In this case, I have my kick drum here, and I'm going to just grab this mono plugin utility, and I'm just going to slide it right in there. Now, there's one thing I'd like you to keep in mind here. If you do a mistake and put the plugin outside of this drum rack, you're basically affecting the whole drum rack. You're not just affecting that one sound. So please do remember and keep in mind that you have to have it within the drum rack in order for this to be affected, this individual sound to be affected. So in order to affect, you got to select the sound that you want to affect. Okay, so as you can see, I have my mono plugin here, and if I go and click on the other kick for an example, you will not see it there. All right, so just a little quick tip for you beginners there. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put a EQ. I use the 8. I never see myself using the 3. I don't know why. I just never really dabbled with it, and I don't think I will anytime soon. I'm pretty sure it's capable of doing some pretty cool things, but I'm comfortable with this one, with the 8. So we're going to do a dip here, and what we're going to do is a harmonic sweep to hear what frequencies are bad within the 200, from 120 to 210 range. Right about here is where the boxiness I feel kind of comes in. So let's make that happen. Let's play the sound back. Now, you're going to see some peaking on the master channel, some redlining. That's because I'm boosting up frequencies, so yeah. Yeah, right there. It seems like the 142 hertz, it just seems to take out that boxiness. It's taking out that boxiness. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll just leave it at that, expand it out a little bit. Okay, so if you want to widen, like what I'm doing here, I'm widening it up. One way of doing it is like this, with this little knob, the Q knob here, or you can cue it like this by pressing down Alt and click holding on whatever band here you like, and then just going up and down with your mouse and kind of finding where the right spacing would be there. So I feel take too much. I don't want to take too much out, but this seems to be fine. The other thing I'm going to quickly do with the kick drum here is I'm going to cut down right here at 2000 hertz, I believe. Yes, okay. Yeah, right, 2000 hertz. I'm going to cut down, because what's going to happen here is I like to create a snap on my snare. I mean, every producer likes to create a snap on their snare to make it sound nice and punchy as well. With that being said, in this range, when I bring my snare, I'm gonna boost up that frequency there. So by cutting down the kick, I will boost up the snare a little bit, and that will give it a snap, and the kick will move out of the way and give space for the snare. And that's basically it for that part there. And the last thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop a compressor in there. Order really matters. Well, I'll explain the order of how you place your plugins in a later lesson, but this is fairly important. So let's go to a compressor. I'm going to turn off the makeup gain to begin with. Makeup gain, all as it does basically is when I lower down my threshold, the makeup gain will add volume to the sound. Because we're reducing volume, this will add sound to compensate from what we're reducing. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to turn that off and listen to my kick here and kind of compress it. And you might hear the difference, you might not hear the difference, but what it's going to do is going to tighten the kick drum a little bit. It's not going to be so loose and out of control, especially the low end. Is what we're really wanting to listen here. And some of the high and mid, it punches it out a little bit more, but what it really does, it tightens it up and kind of saves space in the mix so we can add more things in. And you might be able to hear and might not be able to hear it depending on what kind of monitors you're using, if you're using a laptop speakers, whatnot. So let's just get right into it. That seems to be fine. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of gain just to bring up the volume a little bit. But however, I am gonna be watching my master channel here, just so I won't redline again. seems to be fine. Now see these little adjustments we're doing. We're not doing anything too crazy. Like we're taking little elements. We're not boosting them up crazy and turning up the gain like crazy and, you know, doing compression and ratio happy and all this stuff going nuts, right? We're doing little adjustments. The little adjustments are what really count. It's like surgery, really. It's just making precise adjustments for each individual sound, right? So this is what we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to accomplish a good sound. With that being said, now that I adjusted some of the gain, I think I'm going to lay off the compressor a tiny bit. That seems to work for me right there. Now, if I bypass, listen to that. And we're also redlining. Now, I bring the sounds back in. See what's happening here? It's cleaning up the space. It's bringing down the peaks. And that's how you effectively make a good sounding kick drum, in my opinion. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Like the video. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sachi Records. Yeah, alright. Hope you learned something from this quick tutorial. Thank you so much and have a great day.